74, 1-3. O God, why have you rejected us so long? Why is your anger so intense against the sheep of your own pasture? Remember that we are the people you chose long ago, the tribe you redeemed as your own special possession. And remember Jerusalem, your home here on earth. Walk through the awful ruins of the city and see how the enemy has destroyed your sanctuary.
This is a powerful, heartfelt prayer born from a painful, hurting situation. God's people are crying out to Him to remember them. Maybe you can relate to this feeling of abandonment. Have you ever felt forgotten by God? If so, what did your prayer sound like? When you stop and consider the words of Psalm 74, 1-3, they sound a little bold. To essentially say to the omniscient God of the universe, "Do you even remember us?" is quite surprising. However, the issue is not whether God has literally forgotten His people. Rather, this is God's people calling on Him to be faithful to the promises He has made. That's what this term remember means. As God's people, we know that God is faithful and that He will keep His promises. When we pray, we are bringing those promises before God and asking Him to show Himself faithful in a very particular way. This kind of prayer is pleasing to God, and it's found throughout the Old Testament. For example, in Exodus 2, when God's people were slaves in Egypt, they cried out to God for rescue, and it says that God remembered. And God heard their groaning, and God remembered His covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. God saw the people of Israel, and God knew. Exodus 2:24-25. God had not forgotten His covenant promises made through Abraham. No, this is a reminder that God does not forget His people, that He will be faithful to His promises. We're reminded of what Mary said when she learned that God would send the promised king in David's line through her. He has helped His servant in Israel in remembrance of His mercy as He spoke to our fathers, to Abraham, and to his offspring forever. Luke 1:54-55. God's people are right to call on Him to keep His promises, for He is faithful. How much more should we pray this way today, since we have seen God's promised redemption fulfilled through the death and resurrection of Christ? Regardless of how abandoned we feel, we can be confident that God will never forget us.